Welcome to the League of Nerds comic book segment number 84. I'm John Cooney here to talk to you about comics released the 4th of September 2013. Beginning as usual with my first 5, meaning these are the first 5 books I intend to read this week, and I'll give you a little more depth on them, starting with at number 1, X-Men Battle of the Atom number 1. The past, present, and future of the X-Men collide in this 50th anniversary event crossover. When investigating a new mutant, something truly horrible happens to the all-new X-Men that shakes time and space to its core. This is so dire that X-Men come from the future with the message, the all-new X-Men must return to the past. The 10-part crossover starts here with superstars Brian Michael Bendis and Frank Cho. The Marvel press release for this event says, quote, from the blockbuster creative team of Brian Michael Bendis, Jason Aaron, Brian Wood, Frank Cho, Stuart Eminem, Chris Bachalo, David Lopez, and Giuseppe Camuncoli, comes an event so exhilarating and so groundbreaking that fans will be talking about this for years to come. 3 X-Men universes collide in the biggest war mutant-kind has ever seen, and you won't believe how it all plays out. One thing's for sure, no reader will come out unscathed. If All New X-Men number 1 was the shot heard round the world, X-Men Battle of the Atom is Valley Forge, explained Nick Lowe, senior editor of Marvel Entertainment. And there's no group of creators I'd rather go to war with than Brian Michael Bendis, Jason Aaron, and Brian Wood. And that doesn't even mention the murderer's row of artists. Hank McCoy brought the original X-Men into the present in the hopes of changing the course of history and stopping Scott Summers' mutant revolution before it even begins. But as the young and confused X-Men try to cope with the devastating futures, the team begins to unravel from the inside. And just as mutant civil war is about to hit its boiling point, an unexpected third party comes in to change the game, the future X-Men. They've traveled back in time with a warning. The original X-Men need to go back to their rightful time or they'll be the final nail in mutant-kind's coffin. They risked everything to come to the past and won't leave until the all-new X-Men are back in the past. It's monumental, it's earth-shattering, it's X-Men Battle of the Atom. Who will become unlikely allies? What is S.H.I.E.L.D.'s master plan? What are the consequences for altering time and space? Most importantly, what will determine the fate of our favorite superheroes? This fall, all will be revealed in X-Men Battle of the Atom. Close quote. At number 2, we've got All New X-Men number 16, Battle of the Atom Part 2, Wolverine vs. Future X-Men. Young Scott Summers and Jean Grey run away to stay in the present day. Brian Michael Bendis spoke with previews at San Diego Comic-Con about Battle of the Atom.
It's me and Jason Aaron and Brian Wood and Frank Cho and Stuart Eminem and Chris Bachalo and Terry Dodson. It's a hell of a list, guys. It's celebrating the 50th anniversary of X-Men, right, as the X-Men from the future come back here and say, X-Men from the past, you've got to get out of here.
House cleaning.
Immediately, you've got to leave right now. And it's a big, giant, it's this amazing taco of X-Men from the past, future, and present, all smushed together, really celebrating the entire legacy of the X-Men franchise. And we thought it's perfect for the 50th anniversary. And boy, wait to see this artwork.
Yeah?
Wow.
So you've seen things that we haven't seen?
No. Frank Cho's work, Stuart, something's going on with Stuart Eminem, who I'm the biggest fan of in the world, but the last few issues have been such a step above where he's already been at, and it's just a pleasure to see. And I'm not exactly sure what is going on that is getting this work out of him, but I'm not sure what I'm doing on my end to help or hinder. So I'm like, it's exciting.
At number 3, we've got Forever Evil number 1 of 7. The first universe-wide event of the New 52 begins as Forever Evil launches. The Justice League is dead, and the villain shall inherit the earth. An epic tale of the world's greatest supervillain starts here. Series writer Jeff Johns explained, quote, the whole idea was to put the villains in the spotlight, unite the villains before we unite the heroes, and kind of contrast our villains, like Lex Luthor, Captain Cold, Catwoman, Black Adam, and the Joker, and see the differences between them. I love supervillains, so it was just a chance to explore the DC universe in a different way, a way people don't usually see. This story kind of dictated that. The heroes have never come together, and this is going to force them to. This story will kind of show you why Lex is the leader, and the story is not what I think anyone believes or thinks yet. No one's guessed what the story really is yet. Lex plays a very different role than what everyone thinks he'll play. He kind of sees himself as the hero, so he's the hero of the story in a weird way. Close quote. At number 4, we've got Superior Spider-Man number 17. He's back because you loudly demanded it, the return of Spidey 2099, and an Osborn you have not seen in a while. Series writer Dan Slott told why he loves Spider-Man 2099, quote, come on, it's Spider-Man in the future. There's nothing not cool about that sentence. It's awesome, and from the moment Peter David started writing him, it was one of the coolest books on the stands. Peter David created a fantastic character in Miguel O'Hara. I'm having a great time working on this, and Ryan Stegman is doing amazing art for this arc. Close quote. And at number 5, we've got Invincible number 105. Invincible is back. It's a new day dawning for everyone's favorite superhero. If you ever wanted to jump onto Invincible without shelling out money for 18 collected editions, this would be the perfect issue to start with. Series writer Robert Kirkman explained the transition in Invincible.
What is next for Invincible?
Well, I mean, it's young adulthood, you know, like it was a teen superhero book for a long time. And, you know, once it hit issue 100, I think that, you know, that was really the marker where Mark was like, hey, I'm an adult now. And, you know, it's cool. I mean, it's a story about a father and a son, you know, it's Nolan and Mark. And now Mark is going to become a father who has a kid, but he's still going to have his father around, and it's really, you know, it's going on to that next period in life, and it's just a lot of fun to take everything that I've ever loved about superhero comics and put it into this one series, because I'm a guy that like absolutely loves superhero comics as much as I, you know, may poke fun at the silly things that Marvel and DC do online to annoy people. I do love those books, and you know, I think that being able to, you know, tell a long-term story that actually like has a guy getting older and moving into different periods of his life and having that, you know, being explored in the context of a superhero book, like it's just a lot of fun.
Rounding out the top 10 at number 6, we've got X-Factor number 262, The End of X-Factor. At number 7, we've got Invincible Universe number 6, Buy this comic and support the war effort against North Korea. Bring our Guardians of the Globe home safe. At number 8, we've got the Star Wars number 1. Before Star Wars, there is The Star Wars. This is the authorized adaptation of George Lucas's rough draft screenplay of what would eventually become a motion picture that would change the world. Anakin Starkiller is the hero, Luke Skywalker is a wizened Jedi general, Han Solo is a big green alien, and the Sith, well, the Sith are still the bad guys. I adventure in daring do from longer ago in a galaxy even further away. At number 9, we've got Infinity number 2 of 6, The Inhumans Pay the Tribute, Victory in Deep Space, The Secrets of Thanos. And at number 10, we've got Trillium number 2 of 8, In the Heart of the Amazon Jungle, Nika, a scientist from the year 3797, and William, an explorer from 1921, struggle not only to survive, but to make sense of the mind-bending events that have pulled them together across time and space. The mysteries continue to pile up as Vertigo's new sci-fi epic launches into high gear. For the best of the rest this week from DC Comics, I want to mention that I covered a lot of discussion about DC this month in my DC Comics video for this week, so check it out at he'sgotissues.com for more about Villains Month and the 3D covers. But this week we've got Action Comics number 23.1, Cyborg Superman. Deep in space sits a cybernetic force of evil unlike any other. What terrible connection does Cyborg Superman share with Krypton, and what alien force commands this robotic terror? Find out here. Next, we've got Batman 23.1, The Joker. The Joker has forever been the face of evil in the DC universe, but what led him on his devious path of treachery? Andy Kubert pens this early adventure showcasing the maniacal exploits of the Crown Prince of Gotham, the Joker. We've also got Batman and Robin 23.1, Two-Face. Two-Face's approach to join the secret society. Which side will his coin land on? Next, we've got Batman Black and White number 1 of 6. The legendary Eisner Award-winning series Batman Black and White returns in a brand new 6-issue miniseries featuring tales of the Dark Knight by some of comics' greatest writers and artists. The first issue kicks off with stories by Chip Kidd and Michael Cho, Neil Adams, Joe Quinos and Maris Wicks, John Arcudi and Sean Murphy, and Howard Mackie and Chris Samney. We've also got Batman The Dark Knight 23.1, The Ventriloquist. The origin of the ventriloquist is revealed. One of them has powerful telekinesis, and the other is a cold-blooded murderer. But who's the real dummy in this act? Next, we've got DC Universe vs. The Masters of the Universe number 1 of 6. After narrowly escaping his last battle with He-Man, Skeletor has fled to the most unexpected realm to recover, Earth. Once there, he sets a plan in motion to siphon off Earth's core magic. Forging an unlikely hunting party, He-Man and company go in search of Skeletor. Finding themselves at odds with the heroes of the DC Universe, He-Man and the Masters of the Universe must find a way to stop Skeletor and his mysterious new master. This debut issue features 2 covers by Ed Benes, one featuring the heroes of the DC Universe and the other featuring the Masters of the Universe. Next, we've got Detective Comics 23.1, Poison Ivy. For too long, Poison Ivy has played with men's hearts and been a pawn in their games too, but no more. Now that Batman is gone, she'll grow into a force of nature unlike anything Gotham City has seen before. We've also got Earth 2 number 15.1, Desaad. As a member of Darkseid's inner circle, Desaad is the apocalyptic god of fear and pain. And since being stranded on Earth because of events of Earth 2 number 1, Desaad has looked for a way home. He has the means in the form of boom tube technology, but could not power it until now. Next we've got Flash 23.1, Grodd. Grodd believed he was destined to become the bearer of light until the Flash raced onto the scene. What will Grodd do now that the Flash has disappeared with the rest of the world's heroes? Conquest is on the horizon as the world becomes forever evil. We've also got Green Arrow number 23.1, Count Vertigo. Get set for the twisted origin of Count Vertigo. Why is the Count in Vancouver on the hunt for Green Arrow? And what could have happened to make him such a sadistic adversary? Next we've got Green Lantern 23.1, Relic. Who is Relic and why must he kill every being in the universe who might wield the light of the emotional spectrum? Relic's power could be the most formidable force the Lanterns have ever seen. Next we've got Justice League 23.1, Darkseid. For Darkseid, Lord of Apocalypse, you conform or die. Now born into this realm is an anomaly who looks to challenge that. A trickster who will go to any length to survive, even if it means sacrificing worlds to do it, leading to an earth-shattering confrontation between the Man of Steel and a Dark Lord. We've also got Justice League Dark number 23.1. Freed from his mystical prison, the Creeper walks a path littered with gore and misery, and there may be no way to stop him. Many will be caught in his web, including the Justice League of America's Katana and Jack Ryder, the Creeper's unwitting human host. Where will the Creeper strike next? Next, we've got Justice League of America 7.1, Deadshot. Is it a death wish that makes Floyd Lawton put on the mask of Deadshot, or is it something more sinister pulling at Floyd when he becomes a relentless assassin who feels nothing for his victims? Discover the truth behind Deadshot's secret history in this issue. And we've got Superman 23.1, Bizarro. Lex Luthor's sinister plan to manipulate Superman's genetic material to create a mindless soldier under his control results in the monster known as Bizarro, opposite of Superman in every way, with no compassion, no remorse, and no mercy. From Marvel Comics, we've got Avengers AI number 3, Experience the Diamond, a surreal new world of artificial intelligence. The Vision is trapped within this virtual realm, but is he prisoner or savior? And you, how many times have you looked at your phone today? What are you to the devices in your life, prisoner or savior? Prepare yourself for the kingdom of thinking machines. Next, we've got Avengers Endless Wartime hardcover, the first in a series of all-new original graphic novels. An abomination, long thought buried, has resurfaced in a war-torn land, but now it wears an American flag. Faced with another nightmare reborn, Captain America will not stand for yet more death at the hands of a ghost from his past. Haunted by his greatest shame, Thor must renew the hunt for a familiar beast. At their side, an assemblage of allies united to end the threats no one of them could face alone. They are soldiers, warriors, comrades in arms, mighty heroes led by a living legend, stronger together than apart. They are the Avengers. We've also got Daredevil Dark Knights number 4 of 8. The man without fear's life gets a voltage of violence from the Shocker. Matt Murdock must track a fugitive to protect his innocent client, while New York City and the Avengers must confront some massive monster mayhem. David Lapham returns to the gritty streets of the mighty Marvel U in What a Day, What a Night, Part 1. Next, we've got Iron Man number 15, more mind-blowing revelations as the secret origin of Tony Stark continues. 451 versus Tony Stark, the final battle. 451 versus Tony Stark, the final team-up. And then it all goes wrong. And we've got Superior Foes of Spider-Man number 3, with the same solicit as last month. With superior villains come superior problems as the year's sleeper hit continues. Out of bail and aiming to stay out of jail, Boomerang must get his cronies on target. But does the Punisher have them targeted already? Nick Spencer of Avengers and Steve Lieber of Hawkeye continue this most evil exploration into the Marvel U. From Boom Studios, we've got Deathmatch number 9, brand new arc, perfect jumping on point for new readers. The leader of the Protectors must confront the evil entity that's been terrorizing the prison, while the sinister intentions of one of the heroic combatants is finally revealed. Don't miss the latest chapter of the series Bleeding Cool called How to Do It Right, only from Paul Jenkins and Carlos Magno. From Dark Horse Comics, we've got Michael Avon Oeming's The Victories number 5. When a new government force is unleashed against the powers, champions and villains alike must band together to beat the threat against them. But can they overcome one of their own? Our heroes must face not only their own demons, but the demons of a country as well. The war for the world starts today. Hard-hitting ongoing superhero adventure. From Image Comics, we've got Reality Check number 1. A struggling artist, Willard Penn, scores an unlikely hit with his new comic. The story centers on a hero more concerned with his libido than serving justice. After an unexpected sellout, Willard can't recall anything about his story. That night, the book's hero shows up outside Willard's window, refusing to return to the comic until he finds true love. Exasperated, Willard is forced to help the lovesick hero meet the perfect woman, but he'll need to hurry because the book's villain, a homicidal maniac, has entered his world as well. And we've got Satellite Sam number 3. Mike reaches out to the only woman he recognizes in his dead father's collection of personal girly snaps, and not only does she have stories about the old man that would curl your hair, but she sees a method to the old man's madness. What if there's a picture of his killer somewhere in the room where he died? From Valiant Entertainment, we've got Quantum and Woody number 3. What scares you more than anything else you can imagine? Wrong. The answer is Nightmare Brigade. The scheming forces of the ERA will stop at nothing to unlock the secret science behind Quantum and Woody's powers, and they're just getting started. Plus, see what it takes to tear our boys apart, figuratively and literally. Trust us when we say this one has teeth. Out in trades this week, we've got Morning Glories Volume 5 trade paperback, The Glories Are Scattered, The Faculty Broken, and The Truants Are on the Attack, collecting the explosive mind-bending Season 2 premiere event, Tests. Collects Morning Glories number 26 to 29. And we've got Walking Dead Volume 9 hardcover. In this volume of the New York Times best-selling survival horror, Rick and his band of survivors work to build a larger network of thriving communities. But Negan and his saviors prove to be a larger threat than any could have imagined. Crossing them will lead to The Walking Dead's most harrowing story since the Governor's Reign of Terror. Collects issues number 97 to 108. Okay, so that's just a few of my favorite books out this week. There's still plenty of others available. I broke out all the Marvel titles this week on their own video, as well as a separate video with some more depth on what's going on with DC, and even a video with the top independent publishers. You can find them all on my YouTube channel at he'sgotissues.com as well. And we'll also have links up on theleagueofnerds.com, our Facebook page, so be sure to like us there too. And of course, you can follow everything I'm reading on Facebook, Pinterest, Tumblr, or Twitter. You can find links to everything in the About section of he'sgotissues.com. And a reminder that both He's Got Issues and the League of Nerds are proud members of the Comics Podcast Network. So until next week, I'm John Cooney, and I've got issues.